Starbucks in South Korea will shut all its shops for half a day next week so staff can attend a history lesson following public outrage over a promotional campaign that evoked a deadly crackdown on pro-democracy protesters. The coffee chain faced widespread criticism after it launched a tank day of the usable cup promotion, in which it believes the Gwangju uprising, in which at least 165 civilians were killed by the military. Many believe the real figure to be much higher.
The risk that a traveller infected with Ebola could arrive in the United States during the 2026 World Cup tournament that kicked off last week is low but not zero. And if that happens, US hospitals are ready to respond. US infectious disease experts say it was not always so. The number of confirmed cases in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, DRC, Ebola outbreak has surged to 782, with 178 deaths, marking one of the largest daily jumps so far as regional conflict, patient escapes, and limited contact tracing undermine containment efforts. The Ministry of Public Health confirmed 72 new cases on Sunday over the previous 24 hours, a record single-day increase with 29 additional deaths.
Cybersecurity startup Nucor emerged from stealth with $66 million in funding on Monday, aiming to solve a challenge it believes many companies will soon face as they deploy AI agents. How to authenticate, govern and control them at scale. The seed round was led by cybersecurity-focused venture firm Cyberstarts, with participation from Index Ventures and Evolution Equity Partners, valuing Nucor at $300 million after investment.
Pakistan Army has announced online registration for medical cadets in the Army Medical College Rawalpindi for the 51st MBBS and 29th BDS entry 2026. According to the advertisement, male candidates who meet the required age and education criteria can apply online from the 15th of June 2026. The registration process will remain open until 14th of July 2026.
The anti-corruption establishment ACE has registered a case over alleged financial irregularities in the Yellow Line Bus Rapid Transit BRT project. Former project director Zamir Abbasi and procurement director Juman Das have been named in the case, which relates to the alleged mismanagement of billions of rupees in project funds. The federal government has projected higher receipts from the mobile handset levy in the budget 2026-27. setting a target of $14 billion compared to the budget estimate of $12 billion for 2025-26. Contrary to reporting by other newspapers, the government hasn't increased the tax levy. Instead, it has only set a higher target for levy collection in the new fiscal year. According to Met Office, a westerly wave is likely to approach upper parts of the country from 16th June and likely to persist till 20th June. Moist currents from Arabian Sea are also likely to penetrate upper and central parts from 16th June under the influence of this weather system.
Pakistan Air Force, PAF, has announced new civilian vacancies for 2026. As per the latest advertisement, applications are invited for medical assistant, draftsman and cook posts. The online registration will start on the 15th of June 2026 and will remain open until the 28th of June 2026. All interested candidates can submit their applications through the official PAF recruitment website. Applicants are also required to have basic computer knowledge, as the registration process will be completed online.
Let me ask you a question. If you somehow manage to warp through a wall into a void where there is neither time nor space, just endless, yellow corridors, would you go it's the seemingly infinite halls? Now let me ask you another question. If you did go exploring said halls, ran back to the wall you entered through and managed to return to the real world, would you go back into the void? Would you go back into the void again? South Waziristan. The district administrations of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa's Upper South Waziristan and Lower South Waziristan imposed Section 144 in several areas on Monday due to security concerns and the movement of security forces Officials said, according to separate notifications issued by the deputy commissioners of both districts, restrictions have been enforced on public movement in designated areas, while several key roads have been temporarily closed to ensure the smooth movement of security personnel and logistical convoys.
United States President Donald Trump has announced what he has described as a great deal to end the war with Iran, as officials in Tehran and Washington outline an agreement that would bring an immediate halt to hostilities after more than 100 days of conflict. Pakistani Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif said a signing ceremony for the agreement will take place in Switzerland on Friday. Kyiv, Ukraine, after almost 7 hours in a kilometers-long snail-paced line made up of hundreds of cars at a gas station near Crimea's administrative capital, Simferopol Dilyava was lucky enough to buy gas. He paid $22 for 20 litres, 5.3 gallons. For the first time, an Earth observation satellite has found what it was looking for, on its own, without human analysts on the ground. The milestone, which occurred in April, marks the first reported use of a vision language model in orbit and offers a glimpse of how AI could fundamentally change what space-based sensors are capable of and how much they're worth. Typically, satellites download large chunks of data to analysts on the Earth below, who use machine learning algorithms or their own eyes to figure out what's going on. But on board YAM-9, a spacecraft built by space infrastructure company Loft Orbital, a software package built by NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory identified areas of interest in response to natural language queries.
The government has proposed an allocation of $16.29 billion for ongoing projects of the Information Technology and Telecommunication Division under the Public Sector Development Programme, PSDP 2026-27. The funding is aimed at sustaining major digital infrastructure, innovation and development across the country that are already under implementation across the country.
The joint team of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa Police and Charsadar won a thrilling dragon boat race held on the Kabul River during the first ever Dragon Boat Festival in Pakistan. Organised in Peshawar, the Sports Writers Association secured second place, while the Peshawar High Court team finished third in the competition, which featured over 100 participants from multiple teams.
Artificial intelligence is helping workers finish old tasks faster, but it is also creating a new layer of work inside companies. According to a new report cited by the Los Angeles Times, Paul Leonardi, Duca Family Professor of Technology Management at UC Santa Barbara, said many people do not realize how much time they spend managing AI's tools before getting the productivity gains they claim. The City Traffic Police Lahore, CPL, has introduced a special Sunday licensing facility for rickshaw drivers to make it easier for them to obtain driving licenses and comply with traffic regulations. Under the initiative, rickshaw drivers can apply for driving licenses every Sunday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Manawan Licensing Centre, where dedicated arrangements have been made to facilitate applicants.
Special Investment Facilitation Council Division, SIFCD, working under the Cabinet Secretariat Government of Pakistan, has announced new vacancies for its PSDP-funded Invest Pakistan project. As per the SIFCD jobs advertisement, the division is looking for qualified and experienced professionals for different contract-based roles. The available positions include sector specialists, managers, research support staff, research associates, and office support staff.
At his most recent concert in London, Atif Aslam shared a very special dedication during his performance. The singer took some time to remember where he came from and thanked the friends that helped a boy in Lahore. The singer was on stage at London's iconic O2 Arena when he spoke to the crowd, waxing nostalgic about his younger years.
The Pakistan Meteorological Department, PMD, on Monday extended its forecast of below normal rainfall and higher than normal temperatures across most parts of the country from July to September. The PMD said in its three-month outlook, available with Dawn, that the Indian Ocean Dipole, IID, is currently in a neutral phase and is expected to gradually transition into a positive phase during the season.
Alt-pop US musician and internet personality Oliver Tree was among 6 people who died when the helicopter he was traveling in collided with another in Brazil. The 32-year-old had been on a world tour when the crash occurred over Rio de Janeiro on Sunday. One of the helicopters then fell onto the car park of a dealership, setting around 20 vehicles ablaze.
The British government acted lawfully when it banned the protest group Palestine Action as a terrorist organisation, the Court of Appeal in London ruled on Monday. Chief Justice Sue Carr said the group was not a civil disobedience organisation as it claimed, and that it operated with covert cells to destroy property at defence companies and on military bases.
Russia has unleashed one of its heaviest air raids on Ukraine in weeks, killing rescuers in the northeast and setting a historic cathedral ablaze in Kyiv, even as diplomatic moves elsewhere raised faint hopes of wider de-escalation. Ukraine's Air Force said Russia fired 70 missiles and 611 drones overnight, most of them at the capital, and that air defences shot down 50 missiles and 582 drones. Officials said at least 4 people were killed and about 30 injured in Kyiv, including children, as missiles and drone debris hit apartment blocks, markets and power lines, plunging some 140,000 residents into darkness. Police in Geneva have fired tear gas and used water cannon after parts of a largely peaceful demonstration against the G7 summit in nearby Evian, France, descended into clashes. About 20,000 people took to the streets of the Swiss city on Sunday to denounce the gathering of leaders from the world's richest democracies, which opens on Monday across Lake Geneva in the French spa town. Britain's Court of Appeal has ruled that the government's proscription of the activist group Palestine Action as a terrorist organisation was lawful. The ruling on Monday came after the government lodged an appeal challenging a High Court ruling in February that banning the group under the Terrorism Act 2000 was unlawful and disproportionate.
World Cup group stage continues on Monday, with 4 more matches taking place across the United States. Spain begin their campaign against World Cup newcomers Cape Verde. Belgium face Egypt in what could be one of the day's closest games. Saudi Arabia take on Uruguay in Miami, and Iran meet New Zealand in Los Angeles.
FIFA's discrimination monitor at the World Cup has called for a VAR official to be removed for appearing to make a hand gesture resembling a white supremacist sign. When the official broadcast of Germany's opening game against Curaçao on Sunday cut pre-game to show the team of video review analysts, Sean Evans from Australia made an OK symbol with his right hand in front of his right leg. Though the game was played in Houston, video officials work in Dallas at the World Cup Broadcast Centre.
The Islamabad Electric Supply Company, ISCO, has intensified its campaign to recover outstanding electricity dues across its service area, warning that non-payment of bills will not be tolerated. ISCO Chief Executive Officer Chaudhry Khalid Mahmood said special recovery teams have been formed to speed up the collection process and safeguard national resources while ensuring an uninterrupted power supply to consumers.
Punjab has approved a separate religious curriculum for non-Muslim students for the first time, marking a significant step toward inclusive education in the province. The Punjab Curriculum and Textbook Authority, PCTB, has issued a notification confirming the introduction of new religious textbooks starting from the academic session 2026-27.